The confirmed number of coronavirus cases in Los Angeles County comes to 322,207. The confirmed number of deaths reaches 7,172. Here in Torrance, the total number of confirmed cases is 1,655, with total confirmed deaths at 72. We anticipate those numbers to change as the county updates its last 24-hour operating period. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Leslie Robbins. It's 4 p.m. on Monday, November 9th. America has declared its 46th president. Democratic nominee Joe Biden looks to have defeated President Donald Trump in the 2020 presidential election. During his victory speech on Saturday in his home state of Delaware, Biden said they won with the most votes ever cast for a presidential ticket in the history of this nation, 74 million.
You placed in me. I pledge to be a president who seeks not to divide, but unify. Who doesn't see red states and blue states, only sees the United States.
Biden also referred to his wife, Dr. Jill Biden, as an educator and told American educators that it was a great day for them, saying, quote, "You're going to have one of your own in the White House." Vice President-elect Kamala Harris also stirred up the crowd. She broke gender and racial barriers with her historic win. She is the first multiracial woman to hold the position as the first African American and Asian American to sit in the number 2 seat in the White House. Harris thanked her mom, who she credited as the most responsible for her presence there that night.
When she came here from India at the age of 19, she maybe didn't quite imagine this moment, but she believed so deeply in an America where a moment like this. And so I am thinking
Harris
about
says
her.
while she may be the first woman in the office, she won't be the last. Harris's mother passed away in 2009. Former President George W. Bush congratulated Biden on his win and thanked him for his patriotic message to the American people. Meanwhile, President Trump has yet to acknowledge Biden's win as his campaign filed multiple lawsuits since the presidential results came in. President-elect Joe Biden is wasting no time preparing for his upcoming role as the next president of the United States. Today, he announced a brand new COVID-19 advisory board. The 13-person team is headed by former Surgeon General Vivek Murthy, former Food and Drug Administration Commissioner David Kessler, and Yale University's Dr. Nunez Smith. Murthy was appointed in 2014 to a 4-term as Surgeon General by President Barack Obama, but was fired by President Donald Trump in 2017. Kessler was named FDA Commissioner by President H.W. Bush in 1990. He served through 1997 during President Bill Clinton's first term. And Nunez Smith is the Associate Professor of Internal Medicine, Public Health and Management at Yale. Biden says dealing with the coronavirus pandemic is one of the most important battles his administration will face, and he will be informed by science and by experts. He adds, quote, "The advisory board will help shape my approach to managing the surge in reported infections, ensuring vaccines are safe, effective, and distributed efficiently, equitably, and free, and protecting at-risk populations." He and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris have already been talking with public health and economic experts in anticipation of taking office in January. Meanwhile, the Johns Hopkins University Coronavirus Resource Center saw new daily COVID-19 cases in the U.S. hit a record 128,000 on Saturday, as multiple states reported the highest number of positive infections since the pandemic began. Well, we're seeing some good news from a drug maker that's in the race to create a successful COVID-19 vaccine. Pfizer announced today that an early analysis of its coronavirus vaccine trial shows it's more than 90% effective in preventing the disease among trial volunteers who had no evidence of prior coronavirus infections. If results hold up, that level of protection would put it on the same level as highly effective childhood vaccines for diseases such as the measles. The company added that they saw no serious safety concerns so far. Pfizer plans to ask the Food and Drug Administration for emergency authorization of the 2-dose vaccine later this month. Pfizer developed the vaccine with German drug maker BioNTech. Now, company executives have predicted that it will have manufactured enough doses to immunize up to 20 million people by the end of the year. Dr. Bill Gruber, Pfizer's vice president of clinical development, says they're in a position to potentially offer some hope and adds that they're very encouraged. Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's top infectious disease expert, says the results are just extraordinary and are going to have a major impact on everything they do with respect to COVID. COVID-19 has claimed the lives of more than 1.2 million people so far around the world, including almost 250,000 people right here in the U.S. Well, as the spread of COVID-19 increases throughout LA County, public health officials say the number of workplace outbreaks has also gone up. They say during the 2-week period of September 6th through the 19th, they saw 23 outbreaks at non-healthcare and non-residential workplaces, which was the lowest number of worksite outbreaks since June. Then, during the 2-week period from October 4th through the 17th, the number of worksite outbreaks increased to 40. Director of Public Health, Dr. Barbara Ferrer, reminds Angelenos that the increases of COVID-19 cases at work sites is a reminder that transmission happens at many settings and in every situation. She says we need to remain vigilant, knowing that if cases continue to increase, we will likely see more hospitalizations and deaths in the coming weeks. Workers and employers can anonymously report clusters of COVID-19 cases at work sites, as well as violations of health officer orders and protocols in the workplace. They can call the Environmental Health Customer Call Center at 888-700-9995 on Mondays through Fridays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., excluding holidays. They can also file a complaint or report violations at publichealth.lacounty.gov. Congresswoman Maxine Waters visited Torrance today for a press conference outside the Torrance courthouse. She stood alongside Mayor Patrick Fury and spoke regarding a drunk driving incident that occurred in Torrance this summer. 23-year-old Ashley Wells was killed on July 8th when a car she was in jumped over the median and hit a telephone pole. The driver of that vehicle was an off-duty LA County Sheriff's deputy. Waters spoke to members of the media, sharing that the Wells family was demanding law enforcement officials take immediate steps to bring about justice.
The Wells family is asking, what they're asking for is what any parent who loses a child in this manner would. As their Congresswoman, I will continue to support the Wells family and their journey for justice and accountability. The pain that this family is feeling is inconceivable.
Mayor Fury expressed his condolences and said the city is doing everything to help. He also clarified that the off-duty officer who was involved in the crash was not a Torrance police officer.
I'm a dad, I'm a grandpop as well, and I understand your grief. I don't feel it, but I understand it. One of the things I do have to say is that it was mentioned it was a police officer. It was not an off-duty Torrance police officer. It was from another agency.
It's a sheriff's office?
It was a sheriff's office, yeah. So I wanted to make that absolutely clear.
The Torrance Police Department says its traffic division investigators have been actively working on this incident and have been working with the district attorney's office from the start of the investigations. They are currently awaiting the return of data information to complete their investigation. Now, once the information is obtained, the investigators will present the entire case to the LA County District Attorney's Office for filing consideration. The world lost a legend this weekend. Jeopardy host Alex Trebek passed away at the age of 80. The show's official Twitter account broke the sad news Sunday, saying, "Jeopardy is saddened to share that Alex Trebek passed away peacefully at home early this morning, surrounded by family and friends. Thank you, Alex." Trebek shared in March of 2019 that he was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. He continued to host the show that made him a household name until his death. Trebek has been the face of Jeopardy since 1984. The Canadian-born host told his audience last year that he was joining 50,000 other Americans who receive such a diagnosis every year. He also said at the time that he intended to fight it, and he did, for more than a year and a half after that announcement. Trebek was touched by the outpouring of support that poured in after that announcement and said he was a lucky guy. Love from his fans continued to flood Twitter and other social media pages as they mourn the loss of a TV icon. Trebek's final day of filming was just on October 29th, 10 days before his death. A Sony spokesperson said that his last episode will air on Christmas Day. Southwest Airlines may have to furlough some of its employees for the first time in company history. The Dallas-based company told 42 employees that they could be furloughed in January. Now, this comes after cost-cutting talks reached a seemingly dead end. Southwest and union representatives failed to come to terms with the company's proposal to cut wages by 10% in 2021 to save costs during the ongoing pandemic. The workers who received the possible furlough notices manage parts inventory and are represented by the Teamsters Union. They got the federally required notices that they would be laid off as of January 11th. Now, if the furlough happens, it would be the first time during Southwest Airlines' nearly 50-year existence. The airline is still talking with flight attendants, mechanics, and pilots who have not agreed yet to take pay cut proposals. They began talks in early October and had hoped to reach agreements by the end of the month. The airline's goal is to save more than $500 million. Well, so far, Southwest has reached deals with 2 small work groups and has extended talks with others for a short period. Honda makes a big announcement in the way it plans to operate going forward. The automaker's manufacturing operations will combine and merge with auto product development to form a new company in North America called Honda Development and Manufacturing of America, LLC. Shinji Aoyama, president and CEO of American Honda Motor, says they are announcing a number of their business operations to become a more lean, nimble, and unified company in North America. He adds, quote, "Each change is vital to our ongoing effort to make Honda in America stronger and more responsive to the customer, better able to invest in advanced technology, and prepared to meet future market needs." Honda's auto design and certain market research functions will become a part of the American Honda regional operations based right here in Torrance. And the company's auto field operations will be streamlined to address customer and dealer needs more quickly. The changes will be implemented starting April of next year. Honda reps at the company's U.S. headquarters in Torrance say the pandemic has still affected the way they work. The majority of the staff working at this location are continuing to work from home, with only 10% going into the office. The city of Torrance is recognizing and thanking veterans this week. Veterans Day is on Wednesday, and all week long, we are honoring those who made the ultimate sacrifice. With safety in mind, the Social Services Commission and the City of Torrance are providing a virtual recognition program for veterans and members of the public. You can honor your favorite veteran or all community veterans with a tribute message. Email your brief note to veterans@torranceca.gov. Select messages will be posted during Veterans Appreciation Week, which runs through the 14th. Well, it is also Nurse Practitioners Week, a time to thank the more than 290,000 licensed NPs for their commitment to patients during the coronavirus pandemic. In every state, NPs deliver comprehensive, high-quality care in settings including emergency rooms, hospitals, and nursing homes. The American Association of Nurse Practitioners, President Sophia Thomas, says COVID-19 has laid bare the fact that communities facing health disparities do not receive equal access to health care. She says, quote, when a patient's zip code is still a greater predictor of their health outcomes than their genetic code, it is clear there is much work to be done. As NPs, we must lead the effort to ensure every patient has equal access to the high-quality health care they deserve. As the organization salutes NPs this week for their critical role in helping people with COVID-19, it reminds all Americans that the best way to stay safe from illness right now is to get a flu vaccine. Wear a mask when in public, maintain social distancing, and wash hands regularly. More information and resources can be found at npscombatcovid.org. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share stories from our community. Feel-good pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. Every year, the city sets up a holiday pantry to collect non-perishable foods for families in need. This year, the tree is set up at a new location just inside the Permit Center entrance located in the East Annex at City Hall. The address is 3031 Torrance Boulevard. Now, you can bring any non-perishable food items that are manufactured sealed and not homemade. Donations will be collected throughout the holiday season. Now, if you want to bring perishable foods such as frozen turkeys or hams, potatoes, yams, or bread and butter, you can do so on the morning of each pickup date. The Salvation Army will pick up the contributions at 9 a.m. on Wednesday, November 18th, and 9 a.m. on Monday, December 14th, in time for Thanksgiving and Christmas distributions. What a great way for community members to help their neighbors during the holidays. Now, if you have a great story to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We'd love to hear from you. Well, that is our update for COVID-19 today. Be sure to tune in tomorrow as Rhiannon Trutanich brings you the latest updates. Be safe, stay healthy, and thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
The COVID-19 pandemic has brought huge public health challenges. CDC is preparing for both flu and COVID-19 to spread this fall and winter. Everyone has an important role to play this flu season. If you have to be out and about for your job as an essential worker or to make a trip to the grocery store or your doctor's office, take action to protect yourself and others from respiratory illnesses like flu and COVID-19. Mask up. Wear a mask over your nose and mouth. When in public, keep a distance of at least 6 feet between yourself and others when you can. Lather up. Wash your hands often with soap and water. If soap and water aren't available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. And roll up your sleeve and get your annual flu vaccine. This season, a flu vaccine is more important than ever to reduce the risk of flu for yourself, your family, and your community. It can also reduce the burden of flu illness on the healthcare system and save medical resources to care for people with COVID-19. The more people vaccinated, the more people protected. Get your flu vaccine to protect yourself and your loved ones. To learn more, visit cdc.gov/flu.